You've been working on your track for hours, maybe days, maybe weeks. You've heard it round and round so many times that you think it's finished. But deep down, you're a little bit unsure of whether it definitely is or not. The low end could feel solid, but maybe is it boomy? The vocal seems clear to you, but to everyone else it's a bit buried. You've just got far too used to it and lost complete perspective. That's why it's so difficult for you, the person who's made the track, to know when it's finished. But I've got a really easy way to snap you out of that headspace and hear your mix with fresh ears. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. If you're new here, my name's Streaky. I've been a pro mastering engineer for over 30 years and I've worked with some of the world's leading artists. Here's a little sprinkle of a couple of them that you may have heard of before. Through all the experience that I've got, I've trained my ears up so that I know when I get something in the studio, I can instantly tell what it needs and what it doesn't need. But if you haven't spent decades in a treated room, then your ears aren't going to be able to pick up on the little nuances and changes in a track from first listen. So I'm going to show you a cheat code that you can do on your tracks today that's going to take your mixes 90% further than anyone else that's not doing this. So what we're going to do, we're going to utilize AI so that it can show you what's wrong with your mix. You can then make those adjustments and then retest it to make sure that you've got it all cleaned up. It really will improve your mixes. We're going to be using Ozone 11's Mastering Assist. I'm not telling you to master in AI, but I'm telling you that you can use it to transform your mixes in this way. Before we get into the modules, if you're enjoying this video, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Most people aren't subscribed, so hit the subscribe link because it encourages me to do more videos like this. Right, let's dive in. So first of all, we're going to load Ozone into your mix bus. And then what we're going to do, we're going to find the loudest part of the mix, which is normally the end section where everything's in. We're going to select Ozone's Mastering Assistant, which is this one here. And we're going to just listen to the track. So let's just play the track and hear what it's doing. So the person who sent this track in to me, they obviously felt that it was finished, ready for mastering. They thought the mix was done, but obviously they've gone round in circles. They can't hear it. I can hear instantly what the problems are with it. And that's what Ozone's going to tell us now. So we've got it ready. I'm going to put it into bypass. We also want to do the gain match. We want to make sure that's on because we don't want to get fooled by the level that it's giving us because it's going to have pumped the volume right up. And then we're going to go into this section, which shows us all the different elements that it's put in place, all the different plugins, if you like, that it needs to get it up to where it thinks it should be when it's finished mastering. But the problem you've got is all the problems of your mix are already baked into the mix. So it's going to try and force itself to fix those errors in the mix. And that's the beauty of this. So let's have a look what it's done to the track. I'll play the track before and after first so we can hear the difference. Obviously gain match and then I'll bypass it. So let's hear what it's done. So now we've had a listen to the overall. Let's break into each of the modules and see what they're doing. So let's go to EQ1 first of all. Notice how it's rebalancing the mix, cutting some of the low end while boosting a lot of the highs. This tells us the mix has too much low end and not enough clarity up top. So here's what's really happening. The excessive bass is masking the top end. If we went back into the mix and adjusted the kick and the bass, got them more under control and lower in level, then the top end would probably sort itself out. It wouldn't have to correctively add a load at this point. This is a classic issue I see all the time when you're working on a track constantly, getting really into the low end, thinking you need to add loads of low end because you can't hear it. You're either monitoring too loud or your room or your headphones aren't calibrated correctly. So let's have a listen to how that's affecting the mix by dropping the low end and adding some top. So the next module in the chain, it's added the impact module. The impact module is essentially a multi-band compressor expander, but instead of doing the whole band as a compressor or expansion, it targets specific frequencies as they occur within that band. Looking at what it's doing here, anything below 2K is essentially compressing. So it's telling us the low end under 2K needs some more control, while the top end needs to be a lot more open, so it's expanding that out a little bit. So the thing to listen for when you're listening to the impact is the low end's going to sound a bit tighter and the top end's going to sound a little bit more open. So next up is the imager. This is going to tell us how the stereo image is within the track. So you can split this off, it's multi-band, but as you can see, it's not actually done too much of an adjustment. So that means the stereo image is pretty good at this point. Sometimes it might mono the low end, open up the highs, but it's obviously okay. It's hearing that it's stereo field, there's no massive correctional issues, so I think we're good to go. No need to listen to that because it's not doing much. So next up is clarity and stabilizer. The clarity is an auto EQ for the top end and the stabilizer is an auto EQ across the whole mix. Now, as you can see, these are just doing finer adjustments now at this point, which is cool. I love these. I use them all the time. But all the major adjustments have already been done with the first equalizer and the impact that's happening earlier on. So these are just doing the icing on the cake at this point. So now moving on to the dynamic EQ, this is doing more corrective stuff now at this point. So you can see it's taking away a little bit around 200. So that means there's some muddiness in those low mids. It's also slightly harsh in the mids around 1K. So this could be fixed with EQ or level adjustments just to get some of that harshness out the mids. The next thing in the chain is the maximizer. That's just adding the level. That is obviously the limiter. So we don't need to worry about that here because all we're worried about is what corrections we have to perform in the mix to be able to get the best out of it when we come to master it. So overall, the analysis shows that the low end needs an adjustment. While the producer thought it was good, it clearly needs more control. And once that balance is fixed, the high end should fit into place a lot better. It will sound posher and a lot cleaner. Just to be clear, I'm not saying you should use Ozone AI to master your music. It's helpful, but it's not replacing real mastering, not yet. I still use Ozone every day for different modules within it, but I wouldn't use it in general because, as we've seen, it's doing quite a lot and quite a few things that don't actually sound that great to me. But for this AI, checking your mixes is one of the best things out there, if you know how to use it properly, which you do now. So if you want to see how I use all of these modules in mastering and how you can use Ozone to master tracks so they sound insane, I've made a full course to show you exactly how I do it. It's step by step, it's easy to follow, and I've also put it on a special link below so you can get a massive discount on it right now. So if you've got a copy of Ozone and you've been wondering how you can use it correctly to get really good masters, now's your opportunity. So if you want to grab it now, here's a link to the discount just here, and then watch this video because this exposes all the lies that you're told about mastering from all the online gurus out there. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and follow. Cheers. Bye.